Hey everyone, welcome to the first construction update video for phase 2 of the State Street project. This is construction update 11 overall because the first 10 were for State Street phase 1 last year, which built everything up here. Now we got a month or two of work under our belts for phase 2. Let's start checking it out. So starting up here at the north end of the project, coming up on the intersection with Grove Street here, you can see some excavation work has been done. This is to continue this asphalt bike path down from Audubon Street up to the intersection here. So it'll just be paved right where you see that excavation. New concrete driveway here. That was just some paving blocks before. And let's head up to the intersection where we can see some big construction. If you haven't yet watched my State Street Phase 2 overview, the big 20+ minute video, make sure to watch that first. I showed this corner here at Grove and State and how they were making a saw cut line all around there to expand the sidewalk area. Now you can see it's pretty much complete, at least some of the concrete work. So that bike path from before is going to continue down that way towards Wall Street. But this is going to be a big intersection of bike lanes and sidewalk areas, right? So the bike path is going to come down there, go up this concrete ramp. We're going to have the two-way cycle track connector up Grove Street behind these cones up to the end of the new Farmington Canal Trail extension. And we're also going to have this two-way bike crossing across State Street where it will hook up with the cycle track that goes all the way down towards Water Street. So this corner is going to be a big intersection point. We have this corner island, typical element of a protected intersection. Then we see here up Grove Street, a little bit of excavation, but this is where the contractor is going to head in the next couple weeks to build a new curb right along that white line pretty much and build a new asphalt two-way cycle track up to the canal line. Now at the intersection of Grove Street and Orange Street, just like I showed in the last video, they have their saw cut line all set up here. So this is all going to get ripped out and become a cycle track. They have some survey marks for where they're going to install their curb. You can see the saw cut line comes around the corner. So this whole corner is going to get expanded out to become a big cycle track and pedestrian waiting area to cross the street and head over to the canal trail. Walking south along State Street towards Wall Street, this was some pretty simple work, just excavating the old driveway. So new driveway here just to keep it flat where the bike lane's going to cross. Before it was just one big constant slope. Then just ripping out some of the pavers and compacting the base so new asphalt can be put in for the bike path. Here's the intersection with Wall Street. And if you recall from the overview video, this is going to be a raised intersection. So there was some work going on here when I made that video, but now it's pretty much complete aside from the final paving, which will take place next year. We've got our new curb corners here, full height curb, because this is going to be a raised intersection, so the asphalt will get paved up in a ramp and then be flush with the top of curb. So we have these temporary asphalt ramps just to provide accessibility in the interim condition before it gets fully paved. A pedestal there for a RRFB, the flashing yellow light that pedestrians can press to cross. We've got the bollard here, so that when cars are making the turn, because everything's at the same level, you don't want cars encroaching up onto the sidewalks. So a bollard to reinforce that. And the bike path, as it comes down here, will come around the corner and go down this new ramp and onto the road to continue up Wall Street. The next block up, there's a nice contraflow bike lane that continues all the way into downtown. As we continue walking down the west side of State Street, what I've showed so far is pretty much the extent of the exciting stuff on this side of the street. Most of the work of this project is all on the other side where we're building the new pedestrian and bike greenway. So the rest of the stuff on this side of the street is pretty simple, just replacing sidewalk ramps. Pretty much that's it. The old sidewalk ramps were just made out of pavers. They didn't have the detectable warning surface, so we're just reconstructing those with concrete, making sure our slopes are all ADA compliant. That's pretty much it. This is the intersection with Elm Street. New ramps here. And coming up here to the intersection with Court Street, just a couple more ramps. These used to be the diagonal apex style ramps, so we're just reconstructing those to be directional, making sure that we're pointing people in the right direction with a ramp style and warning pads. Just reconstructing some of the concrete surrounding it, just setting up our ramps to match our new ramps that will be across the street once they start building the east side. So that's about it for the civil work that's been done so far. There's still a couple more sidewalk ramps to get done, but aside from ramps and this bike path continuation from Audubon to Wall, that's about the extent of the work over on the west side. The exciting work is really going to happen once they start up on the east side of State Street, so the current northbound lanes. In order to work there and build that new pedestrian and bike greenway, they need to flip traffic all over on to this side. So pretty much how it's going to look like in the final configuration when all traffic is going to be two-way on this side. So sometime this summer, you'll probably see some temporary traffic signals going up, right? Because we have those signals over the northbound lanes, but they need to be over here so the cars coming up this way can see them. So you'll see those go in, you'll see some public announcements about a big traffic switch, and then the work is really going to get started over on that side. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be pretty exciting. We'll see you in the next update video.